Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am in Belagavi and I've got a very interesting guest today, Mr. Santosh K Porwal, Managing Director, Shanti Foumach Private Limited. It's good to meet you, Santosh ji, and thank you for giving us time today. I know it was a busy schedule for you today. So, to start our discussion, can you let our audience know more about your company, how it's founded, and the journey till date?
Firstly, thank you, Dinesh, for being in a company to interview and forecast our company in larger audience. And to answer your question, yes, Shanti Foumach was founded way back in 1974. Earlier, the name of the company was Shanti Iron and Steel.
Okay.
So I am a second generation. It was founded by my father.
Okay.
And it came for very background because basically we are Jains.
Okay.
And Jains are usually in either gold or in a trading cloth business.
Correct.
So a person going into manufacturing in 1974 was itself a big way. So some of his partners told him, why not we start? There is one unit on sale. Why not we go and start it?
Okay.
So there the journey started, and we took this foundry from someone, and then we started our journey. Then as not having any background,
Okay.
there were lots of ups and downs, and almost in verge of closing because of a very bad management of not knowing.
Okay.
Then some of the partners who had joined earlier, then they left. Then that's where my father took the charge of the entire company and joined my uncle Shantilal.
Okay.
And then they pivoted the company various models, engaging with the customer. And somewhere in 2000, I was given the legacy of this company.
Okay.
So that time we were somewhere 4 or 5 crores, and now we have touched almost around 175 crores.
Okay.
So I think it has been fantastic. And in 2019 we changed this. We thought now we are a partnership firm.
Yes.
And that steel is not matching with the company what business we are doing.
Correct.
So let's give a more modern look and go to more of a professional look.
Yes.
That's when we pivoted to more of a corporate entity.
Yes.
And that's when we came with the Shanti Foumach. And this was a point with one of our employees where
Okay.
we loved this name.
Oh God.
And that gives a very fantastic name. And
Okay.
that has been a short journey.
Okay. And being a second generation entrepreneur, in today's world, I see people, the second generation are not coming up and taking manufacturing roles in their companies. So most of the companies in Bangalore and maybe Germany, people are setting off. So what motivated you to join this challenging industry? I say because manufacturing is a blue collar, people see, not glamorous industry. So how do you plan and how do you join this company and thought let's make a career in this?
Yes, you are right, but usually that question goes for the third generation. Because first generation they build the base, second generation grows, and third they have enjoyed all this, and third generation solides.
Okay.
So luckily I am in a second generation.
Okay.
And as we are a business, family business, so I was to come very early in my factory.
Okay.
And seeing the operations, so always you get fascinated.
Yes.
And usually we are built with that DNA.
Yes.
We don't work for anyone.
Correct.
We make a lot of working. So that was very clear I'll be an entrepreneur. And I thought this was a good business to grow in. So I had a lot of visits during my holidays. And during Sundays, sometimes we used to come on any holidays to come here and see what things are happening. So always that fascinated me. So I always had aspiration to grow this company.
Okay.
And that I think I made very early. In fact, my father wanted to make me to do diploma and come back here.
Okay.
But I think I just said, no, I will do proper engineering. I will do it. Then I did my MBA.
Okay.
And I think all that led to me go because this has a lot of potential. And this is a mother industry. Basically, if you know the history of the foundry, is a mother industry. It's
Yes.
from thousands of years.
Yes.
From bells to all kinds of castings to high tech, everything. So this is more of growing industry, and I think there's a lot of organized. So a lot of potential to make it organized and showcase. And as we see now, the decision what are taken in that side. And when I see my friends and peer, I really feel good about it.
Yes.
The things have been shaped out well for me, and thanks to my first generation who gave me the free hand to do what I want.
Correct. And what sort of products you manufacture here at your facility, and which all industries you are catering to right now?
Basically, we are made to design, so we
Okay.
don't make our own design. So
Okay.
customers gives us design, so we make manufacturing. So in manufacturing, we have two sub processes. One is the casting part where we melt the part, and in that there are two metals: one iron, gray iron, and one is ductile iron.
Correct.
So these are two metals, and we do go further. We do machining, where after casting, we do machining, which becomes ready to assemble as a component. So it goes to a customer lines and directly goes to the assembly line. And further, one more vertical we have added in last 3 years is giving a VMI services. So shifting the domain from a only product company to a service company.
Correct.
So we take care entire management of the supply chain. So like we have around export of 50% of the businesses. So where we give the services. And coming to what industry we cater is mainly agri.
Okay.
So agriculture, more of tractors, and tractors usually companies are backward integrated with their engines.
Yes.
So tractor and engine is one industry we cater to. Then there are compressor, there are earth moving, and some industries in transmission. So these are the primary industries which we are catering to.
Okay. And quality is something which is very talked about, and companies are very keen. So how do you ensure the product which are manufactured here at your facility? How do you make sure it's top-notch quality, and what sort of quality checks you make sure that once a product is out of your plant is checked and it's ready to use? So what sort of care you take as a the main man behind the company to check the quality part of the
In
product?
fact, in manufacturing, it is very important that quality has to be number one, because especially you are doing overseas where the customer is overseas and around so long distances and almost 2 or 3 months material is in pipeline. So quality is something is now has to be top notched, especially if you're exported.
Yes.
And thank God we understood this very early in the industry, and that has been one of our forte and expertise.
Correct.
And USP why if customer comes to us because of quality. How do we deliver this quality is a lot of systems and checks and systems. So we call this as a Pokayoki systems.
Okay.
So ensure that the quality is inbuilt during the process. So you don't ensure that once is come and check, because that is old modern school. So modern school says when you're processing, you have to ensure the processes are such which come with the right quality. Foundry there has its own inheritance of having internal defects and external defects. So a lot of new technology like simulations, online testing. So a lot of technology is used nowadays to ensure the quality comes there, and a lot of scanning machines. So to take the foundry casting quality.
Correct.
And there are of course few people checks which do visual checks and they pass from one station to other station. And now the concept has come of zero defect.
Yes.
So last 4 years, any component which is developing is going with a zero defect.
Okay.
So the zero defect is defined in two terms. One is at customer end and one is at internal.
Yes.
So right, the customer says, but when I get at my end, I want zero defect.
Yes.
Because that's where the biggest pain is, because a lot of loss of revenue happens, a lot of nuisances happen when it reaches customer.
Yes.
Especially the inventory is high. So when the product is getting developed, they develop a lot of checks and system. So this is a very joint collaboration. So we have a very vertical department called NPD and a customer engagement. So they start and design from what they do past experiences. If it was a past product, if it's an old redevelopment and new development, they design the process such. So we have if you see one of you have a chance to go to facility, you will see there are a lot of robots and scanning. So where the entire machining is happening with a robot. So this entire will happen which is having even an inspection station.
Okay.
So robo is doing machining, then it is going to inspection station, then inspection station is checking the job, giving again fixed signal to the machines, and if there is a variation, it is correcting, and is out of spec, it is rejected. A lot of barcoding, scanning. So no one thought that foundry it would be so high tech.
Yes.
So I think now a lot of technologies and tools are available, and that's where we are able to deliver the quality.
Okay.
And it's a continuous improvement process.
Okay. And like we said, like you do exports, and over the last 10-20 years, we see a lot of advancement in different technologies. So as a company, how do you make sure that you have the latest machines, latest softwares, latest technologies, whether it's robots, because you have to take decision because everything involved is a cost. So how do you, as a company, how do you keep yourself updated? Because since you are catering global demands, so how do you adopt technologies, and how technology is helping you to grow?
So one of the ways is we visit a lot of exhibitions. So like a lot of Indian exhibition as well as in Europe, which is Germany is a mecca of all this technology. So we get a lot of there are specialized tools for foundry and machining.
Yes.
So we keep visiting there. Plus even our vendors or suppliers who are supplying this machine, they invite us.
Okay.
Like they have a lot of road shows doing here. So they keep on updating. Okay, this is a new technology coming and continue generation 1, generation 2 coming. All this information is coming. Like if you see a lot of IoT products are coming where it's helping to track all the information data sitting live. So there's a digital twin.
Yes.
So one is having the company here and sitting anywhere, you are able to get the entire shop floor data wherever you're sitting. So we have created in one section a digital twin.
Okay.
So entire IARP, if you see the entire production is going, is able to see right now when we are here.
Okay.
So anyone can get alert, and there is a notification of ERP, anything material going out, inward, customer is getting access. So a lot of technology is disrupting very fast. So the biggest part is how fast you are able to harness and adjust with it.
Correct.
That plays a pivotal role in deciding the edge, because now the race between first and second is very small.
Yes.
So the lead who takes the first, and just one is for technology being a fancy,
Yes.
and one is missing the use of technology to make it a competitive edge.
Yes.
And I think that is what we are able to do.
Correct.
Even though we are not born in very big large in the foundry, but if you ask in the reputation, even the big foundries are not having the reputation of exports. Like 50% exports is 50% of revenues in exports. If you see very few companies in foundry who are maybe 10x larger than us, they are not having that kind of bandwidth, because one of the biggest risk is the communication and ability to take that risk of ensuring quality confidence.
Yes.
So this shows a lot of commitment and a lot of process and a lot of hard work goes this. So I think this kind of engagement and challenging and renovating, seeing okay technology can be updated, a lot of checks and do's have to be done, and a lot of variables also are there. So it is a challenge always, but
Okay.
I think there is a way to do that.
Okay. Europe has, people say, slowed down. US has slowed down a little. We in India, we are pushing Make in India initiative. So how do you see the market evolving, and what sort of market sentiments you as a company are getting? Because since you are supplying in India, you are taking care of global market. So what sort of sentiments you are getting from your customers?
See, Europe, of course, the last year 23 was a down year because of this Ukraine crisis, and Europe has slowed down very drastically, and that will continue to do even in 24.
Okay.
But that business, there is a cycle.
Yes.
But if you see India as a story, it has been phenomenal. You talk about the PLI scheme, manufacturing, which we have a vision from 15 to 25, and current seeing the China scenario. If you see in the foundry segment, China is the number one.
Yes.
Many in terms of the size,
Yes.
and number two is India. So everyone is talking about China plus 2,
Yes.
China plus 1.
Yes.
So this advantage is definitely coming to us, and because Europe doesn't want to do this manufacturing,
Yes.
and we are at the best point of the time in the era of manufacturing in our industry.
Okay.
Next 10 years is a golden era.
Okay.
If you when we run a time series, and there could be no better time for manufacturing in India at this point.
Okay.
Okay, some up downs, even elections are in India,
Yes.
plus global US, all, and plus Ukraine war and going. Some up spikes here, there will happen. Yes, we had impact. But is this story not bad?
Yes.
Is great, phenomenal. In fact, we are coming with a new foundry,
Ah.
which is much more of same size into one more area based on sustainability.
Oh.
Because everyone talks about every
Yes.
casting you produce, how much CO2 you're generating.
Yes.
And that is what we are building on.
Yes.
And now first cost, quality and delivery. Our fourth pillar is already sustainability.
Okay.
Because you are everything good, and Europe is trying to build that barrier.
Yes.
Because now if you add a sustainability, it is better to buy, in spite it is costlier,
Yes.
cheaper to India, we'll buy because in Germany or this nearer it is sustainable.
Yes.
But I think that is something India is catching up very fast.
Yes.
If you see the energy segment with COP27, what we had, and plus the Indian investments going, and a lot of changes are happening.
Correct.
So I think whoever is adapting and getting this change, change is very important.
Correct.
And whoever is adapting is definitely going to get an edge.
Okay, so sustainability is not a buzzword. It's happening. It's happening real fast.
It's really happening very fast. If you see the energy segment is going very fast, and talk about any environment,
Okay.
everyone is trying to monitor. We are now casting. We never thought we'll measure how much CO2 is getting generated, and how are we trying to mitigate.
Correct.
Right now, when I am talking, my company is 95% green.
Ah.
So 95%, which is one of the highest power consuming in the foundry sector.
Correct.
So my 94% is already green. So we are talking about scope 1, scope 2, and now we plan to go to scope 3.
Ah.
So scoping has become, so
Okay.
we also plan to go listing. So all this becomes part of a big story. And I think this is not something legacy we have to live for next generation to come.
Okay. So sir, how do you see your company going in another 5 years in terms of size, in terms of market, and like you said, you are coming up with a new facility. How do you see your company going, and what are your plans in the coming 5 years?
So next 5 years we plan to double it,
Okay.
and that's how we see a vision coming up with one more foundry.
Okay.
And already it is in very mature stage. So and a lot of business inquiries are coming in, a lot of conversion phase we are. So of course we'll double it, and of course after that we will see a pivot.
Correct.
because at least next 5 years we double, then we see how what is a business model. We would like to revisit a business model and see what is that we will, because manufacturing is the biggest capex.
Yes.
So usually capex 1 is to 1.2 years revenue. It is not like a trading, you just do it like assembly customer, they can scale up very fast.
Correct.
So we have to see what would be a next business model.
Okay.
And how we harness our knowledge and know-how to further cater to other areas.
Correct.
So, but we feel at least one plant has to come here, and further pivot journey we are able to decide, because a lot of change is happening in the EV side, a lot of AI/ML coming in, how the industries do. The business plans have gone long way, maybe 3-5 years. So if you are able to have 3 year, 5 year is sufficient.
Yes.
And you have to be adaptive.
Correct.
So right now we are not seeing that much change happening, but at least next 5 years is to build double, sustain it what we are doing it, and then see how is the ecosystem beyond us is happening.
Correct.
And then again take the next steps of going forward.
Okay. And what is the secret sauce Belagavi people have, or the ecosystem have? That I see most of the companies thriving and growing, and there's without any support and everything. But still, I spoke to so many people, and I get a positive vibe. So, can you let us know what is the secret recipe of you people growing and thriving, especially from Belgavi?
I think one of the reasons is that people are your content. So that is, it could be two-way sword.
Okay.
One is aspiration side and one being the content side.
Correct.
So people don't like to take big risk.
Okay.
And there is a very high intellectual. If you met, I'm sure a lot of companies which you visited, you must have seen, even though Belgaum comes from a tier 2, the intellectual level
Yes.
is quite high.
Yes.
Which is very entrepreneur and more innovative. And I think that is where the mantra lies here. And the ecosystem of Belgavi, being the temperature, weather around it, suppose, of course, it is changing along with all the world,
Correct.
global, which we are talking.
Correct.
But I think that is one of the things, and that is helping for people to take care.
Okay.
And the mix, if you see, is more of a cosmo.
Yes.
If you find same maybe a Hubli, which is more than Belagavi, maybe 2 or 3 times. But if you meet the people here, you find यार ये कोई Bangalore से कम नहीं है.
Yes.
And the way they think, way they have their
Correct.
lifestyle, when you
Correct.
talk. So it is, I think they come with a lot of rich knowledge, with a lot of good background of education, and a lot of they have globally traveled well.
Correct.
So I think that helps them to give always a global perspective,
Okay.
and that they always try to see how we can make a better companies.
Okay.
And there are a lot of innovations coming in.
Okay. And I will take the liberty of asking, because since you are a second generation, entrepreneur, and what are the key learning and challenges you have faced over the years when came on board, and what are the what were your learnings? Because startup, there are young people who want to come into manufacturing, people passing out, or maybe starting a company somewhere in the country. So, what is your message to the startup fraternity who want to start something, and what are your key learnings? So, two part. First, your key learnings, and what way are your suggestion to people who want to start something in, especially in manufacturing, maybe in automotive, aerospace, any domain.
So I have a different perspective here, because I would think which I could have done better, and what this next generation is coming. What I have learned may not be applicable to upcoming generation,
Okay.
because over this 22 decade things have changed around. So I could tell some of the sharings which I did, and maybe I could recommend what could happen. I just did my engineering MBA and directly came to my business.
Yes.
And luckily I had a foundation, so I only had to grow,
Yes.
and I had a margin to make failure.
Yes.
But this generation will not have. So I think you have to be very sure, and
Okay.
you have to have a good experience before you take a jump in the pool, and always start in a pilot.
Okay.
Because something you cannot have a risk to take too big jump at a time. So always start with a pilot. Have a background what you are going to do in actual physical. Don't have a Google knowledge,
Yes.
because that Google is sometimes misleading and may not have a real information.
Take somebody to a different direction.
Disclaimer to Google. So I think that is something they have to do, and they talk, because this generation doesn't talk. They are WhatsApp pies. They
Yes.
just text around and they're very comfortable. They're very shy in talking.
Yes.
I think they have to change that, because something in manufacturing sector, because it's a lot of capex part.
Yes.
A lot of capital is involved.
Yes.
So, and raising your capital or outside capital, end of the day is capital.
Yes.
So I think you have to talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, because that will harness your speed of learning.
Yes.
If you learn everything on your own, the time taken will be so long.
Yes.
Until you are doing it, the opportunity is gone.
God.
So maybe one is to talk around, have a experience and knowledge.
Yes.
Earlier generations could survive without the education or knowledge. So
Yes.
knowledge could be one is online knowledge and one is having formal education. But knowledge is definitely needed. So skill development up. Now I am going to continue. So I have done my IIM.
Okay.
I am going through my CFO course.
Ah.
I am indoor.
Oh.
So I am just completing in June for 1 year.
Okay.
So it is very important you keep yourself updated no matter what.
Okay.
So you go to Harvard, I did my online disruptive, then I am indoor. So it's no matter what you do, but it's important you keep on attending, updating, upgrading. You are not upgrading, your people are not upgrading.
Oh.
Because as a leadership, you have to set a benchmark.
Yes.
And I think that sets the role model. And it's a team building end of the day. Now it was okay. Now even competitors are collaborating.
Yes.
So is how is second is the collaboration part. So
Correct.
how are you able to collaborate and team?
Correct.
Because that's how where we see a lot of success. You cannot carry the weight all on your own.
Yes.
So you get a financial tech guy, you get a marketing expert, one you get marketing, one finance expert. So three domains can get together.
Correct.
And we have seen so many success stories going there. So I think is that people have to learn to collaboration. And whoever have done it has shown, market has shown what they, how they have been taken
Yes.
on their head and shoulders.
Correct. Thank you, Santosh ji, for your time, and looking forward to meet you very soon, sometime in Amma, Bengaluru. Have a great evening, sir, and thanks for your time and support.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Dinesh. Take care. It was nice meeting. Thank you.